Traditionally, in South Korea, marriages were arranged between young men and women, especially within the upper classes. Since then, Korean marriage culture has evolved significantly, but the phenomenon of arranged marriage continues to exist in Korean society in modified forms. I'll be explaining the changes between traditional and modern marriage culture through the lens of Jason Hickel's personhood in Democracy as Death. In today's Korean society, many young men and women choose to participate in seon, which are essentially meetings between prospective marriage partners set up by parents or relatives that are not strictly required to result in marriage. Once the parents or relatives set up the meeting, it is up to the children to decide whether or not they would like to get married, usually by dating and beginning a longer courtship. If, however, they choose not to get married, parents or relatives will most likely continue searching for other potential matches and set up more meetings as agreed to by the children. According to Jason Hickel in Democracy as Death, the migrant rural Zulu in South Africa held the following view towards the self and personhood: that persons do not have relations, they are relations. The self is a relational construct composed of and penetrated by external entities and constituted through the social order. Furthermore, while they embrace the principles of racial equality and universal franchise, they question the underlying idea that all individuals are autonomous and ontologically equal, especially in relation to gender and kinship hierarchies, and objected to what they perceived as a systematic attack on their values by the ANC and its allies. In short, the migrant rural Zulu defined their personhood as embedded within the context of the homestead, while the ANC viewed persons as liberal individuals presumed to be independent and discrete social units. When examining Korea's marriage culture through the lens of Jason Hickel's tool of personhood, we can better understand the reason for these changes in the culture. As I have described earlier, seon represents sort of a compromise between arranged marriage and free choice, where several candidates are recommended as marriage partners, but the final selection is left up to the individual. This compromise is a result of differing views of personhood among the older generation and the younger generation, specifically the older generation viewing personhood as defined by the familial unit and the younger generation viewing personhood as defined by the individual. The older generation's idea of personhood is demonstrated through their view that marriage is a union of two families rather than simply two individuals. This largely stems from the idea of filial duty and piety of Confucianism, which played a huge role in shaping Korean culture. To them, the children of the family cannot be removed from the connected family unit and the roles and duties each member has to one another, and this translates directly to the rite of passage of marriage. Another piece of evidence for this can be seen even in more modern love marriages, where the partners meet organically, not through parents or relatives. If two people are seriously considering getting married or on the cusp of becoming engaged, it is necessary for the potential son or daughter-in-law to meet their partner's parents out of respect. In Korean culture, formally introducing a partner to one's parents is usually to show serious intentions regarding the relationship. Seon and the younger generation's upholding of such practices, even in modern love marriages, shows that they acknowledge their filial duty but still assert their own idea of personhood as individuals. Overall, this analysis of Korean's modern marriage culture can be connected back to Jason Hickel's observations of South African society and used to better understand why certain social practices are upheld today.